What up, internets? This is Team DZT. I'm your co-host vanillaSMALLS, alongside co-host
M.Kingson.
and today we're going to talk about Nintendo. Now, there's a lot of y'all who've been complaining about Nintendo with the Wii U,
Especially the Wii U in particular.
Wii U in particular, how they wish all of their other games that Nintendo has, like first party, because Nintendo solely survived out there for first parties.
And it's starting to seem that way once again.
Yeah, they're getting no third-party support or help, and that's
It's very little.
yeah.
But you might as well say it's none. They do have lots of indie support as well.
Yeah. But it seems to be hurting them, and I get frustrated with people who are like, well, why can't I play my Mario on my console? Or, speaking of which, we was just reading about Bayonetta 2.
Yes. For a long time now, Bayonetta 2 has been, well, funded by Nintendo. And it will only be coming to the Wii U. Yet there are still people out there who are very salty about wanting on another console because they had it was a very niche group of people that liked it, but the fan base has grown over time. So now they feel that, hey, we want this game, but we don't want to buy a Wii U to play it. You people need to realize you were never going to get this game until Nintendo had to step in and actually say, hey, we want Bayonetta 2 to happen.
Absolutely. And since we're saying thank you to Nintendo, I say we should say thank you to Nintendo right now. As many of y'all gamers, not new generation, but gamers like us who have been playing since, well, the late 80s, early 90s, you know, it was Nintendo who started the market in the Western market, bringing Mario and bringing the games. Yeah, Donkey Kong, bringing games to America. Without that, we probably wouldn't be here talking about this. So thank you, Nintendo.
Of course, only the older generation remembers something like that. New generation wants something a little bit more fancy. They had no time to remember how things used to be back then.
A problem I think it is everyone's so concentrated on consoles doing multiple things, you know, like with all their apps and connecting. Now, don't get me wrong, multiplayer is still a big deal, and I think it's still fun. I mean, I still remember playing games with my brother and all. You get so mad at each other and like punch each other in the head or something.
Throwing the controller here and there.
Throwing the controller and all that. And that's fun and all. But I think some consoles, like I am a fan of Sony. You know, I like Sony, and my original home, well, got repossessed. We'll say that, Sega. I was a big Sega fan. You know, Sega, as many of y'all recall, Sega thought, you know, if they had the better technology, they were superior. And, you know, they beat Nintendo back in the day because they had superior games and put them on the map. But then they started going with all these technologies, such as, you know, they were the first ones to do online. And then they had the Sega CD and Sega 32X. I don't even know if anyone remembers those.
Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn was okay. It did not have a Sonic game there for it. Sonic Jam was released. Yeah, it didn't have a mainstream Sonic game. All it had was Sonic Jam, I believe it was called, with Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and Knuckles. But they did have a cool 3D area where you could run around. But this ain't talk for Sega. All I'm trying to do is make an example that, you know, sometimes it's about the games. And Nintendo has always been there for their fans as far as games. They've always brought to you the highest quality of video games.
Of course.
They really have. And Xbox, as we saw 2 years ago at E3, Xbox fell on their face with the Xbox One and tried to say it was an always online console and you can't share games with your friends.
That whole year was definitely crazy for the gaming media world, but at least Microsoft is trying to make things a little bit better.
And I mean, Sony, they did it better, right? But you know, I mean, we're slowly marching into, you and me have discussed that games are going to eventually be, the next gen games, consoles, now we're far away from it honestly, are going to have to be an always online console. They're going to always have to be, you know, especially connecting to the internet, updates, and etc. and all these apps.
Even now, there are multiple updates for systems that actually need to be around for the systems to even begin doing what they're supposed to do.
It's just, I hate when people rip on the Wii U because it is for games and gamers, and they bring us the highest quality with their first parties. How many companies can you really say, like, well, how many companies, Sony and Microsoft, that really have exclusive titles, first parties? Nintendo has solely survived on their own blood, such as The Legend of Zelda, which is my currently favorite, you know, franchise in Nintendo, but their mascot Mario, Pokemon, which is, who doesn't love Pokemon? I'm 26, I still play it. You know, it's still fun though.
It is. It's very fun.
It's still fun. And you know, I'm 26 and I started playing back in '92 I started playing games. I remember first time playing Sonic 2 and Mario on my NES, and it's just gaming has changed quite a bit.
It has.
It has.
And players are demanding more and more from their game as well, which means company and developers are having to put in a lot more time, a lot more resources to get these games made.
But I feel like with all these apps now, it's starting to become more entertainment rather than video game entertainment. You know,
it's uploading to YouTube,
I mean,
Twitch live streaming.
Don't get me wrong. So some of that is cool, but I think sometimes we should just really stop and appreciate games. You know, because they're fun, and it doesn't matter if the game's really hard or it's really easy. I've always believed, and I have always believed, that if you play the game and you have fun with it, they achieved what they wanted. The game's supposed to be fun. And everyone's bashing on Nintendo, and they're wanting to play these first parties, which, ironically, you're just showing how great Nintendo is. But you don't own their console. It really is. They're showing how great it is, and they want those games, but they don't want to go and buy the Wii U because its online isn't that great and all.
Not just that, they also feel that the whole no proper account system is not as powerful as the 1 and the 4. They feel it's current gen or last gen.
Now don't get me wrong, I will agree, Nintendo should have done something better with online to make online gaming more funner, like a little bit better.
Sooner could have been.
Yeah, you know, setting up their, I guess like their, what would you call it? Like Sony's got their PlayStation Store and all that. They could have set that up maybe a little bit better, maybe a little user friendly. Well, I can't say that. I take that back because the Wii was actually pretty user friendly. You had all the titles marked by the development and all, and you had different categories. But, you know, online's a big deal. I think Nintendo should have upped their online servers some way, making the online more
infrastructure should have been. I don't want to say it should match what the other competitors have, but I think they could do a little bit better from what it is.
Yeah.
Not to mention their whole updating of games on the eShop is dreadfully slow.
Like, the Wii U is not a bad console. It shoots 1080p just like PlayStation 4. You read the box, it tells you. Microsoft doesn't shoot 1080p, as I told. I'm not very big into graphics, really. I think they're great, but I've always said it doesn't matter how great the game looks. If your left analog stick doesn't make you go left, the game's broken. I don't care how great it looks.
I mean, all the games so far developed can upscale to 1080p, which means they can give the image of it. But a true 1080p game seems to be having trouble for almost everyone. Yet Nintendo seems to be mostly 720p, and they have a few more 1080p games that are on the way, and some that actually came out. Wind Waker HD was actually one of them.
Wind Waker HD.
And their games are actually doing very well as they're designed to run even in 60 frames per second, which gives you smooth gameplay. Yeah, you have these old graphical powerhouses out there that can only push 30.
I just think everyone complains because the Wii U doesn't have all these apps.
It doesn't have what the others have.
I think
people are just raging over it.
I think it's misunderstood here. You know, Nintendo really is about the quality of games and for gamers. You know, you see Microsoft and Sony, they're always talking about different ways their consoles can now connect to the internet and your Facebook and Twitter and all that cool stuff. And every year, if you watch E3 last year, you know, we saw Smash Brothers. We both can't wait. And we would love to do a whole segment, and we'll probably post a whole segment on that here soon. Because we're both Smash Bros. Fans.
We are both definitely getting both versions of Smash Bros.
He kicks my butt all the time. I can't beat this guy. It's irritation. But it's fun though, and we enjoy playing it, and it's all about games. It really is. And it's just, I just gotta believe it's everybody. It's a misconception. Everyone always says Nintendo's family oriented. Yes, they make games for families. Kiddie. It's not kiddie though. Like, you don't have to buy those Wii Sports and all that. You can still play fun games. And just because Mario's not carrying around an AK and shooting up Bowser and the Koopa Empire doesn't mean it's not fun. We grew up playing Mario, and you know, I don't need my games exploding in bombs and guns and all that all the time. And I'm not supporting game violence or whatever. I really don't believe in that. Games are what they are, and they're made for fun. If you really cannot tell the difference when you're playing a game, you probably shouldn't be playing it.
Yeah. If you play a game solely for the purpose of how violent it is or how good it looks, you need to stop. Stop. Don't touch any more gaming. Just go look at a few pictures of it.
If I was Nintendo, what I would do to solve some problems, which I'll be honest, they do have some problems with their console a little bit.
All of them do.
Yeah,
but everyone's just being picky.
I think Nintendo needs to somehow. Now, I don't have an answer for this. I'm sure somebody does, and I'm sorry if I sound a little ignorant. I really don't know how they could go out to try and get third-party developers. Because if we use a fine console to develop on, I mean, it can do what the other consoles can do. You know, I mean, it's just
It may
the
not
same
be as
graphics.
powerful as them, but
Well, I think
it's
memory
not,
space is really low. I think it's only 32 gigs, and
yeah, they kind of.
and I can't remember how much. I got
How much
PS4.
storage space it
I
has.
apologize. Kind of a little lacking here. We said we do this, and we're behind on homework here.
Yeah, a little bit, but hopefully you understand our point. The thing is, by the way, we're not heavily biased towards anything. We play everything out there to offer, don't we? Don't we?
Don't make me, because you know there's a certain company out there I cannot stand, so we're gonna let it go.
We're gonna let it go.
But did I mention I own a PS4 and a Wii? But there's just that one person I just can't stand. But we won't make names. Won't make names.
We don't enjoy hate sometimes.
Sorry, not really.
By the way, all members of Team DZT are.
Probably we're all around. We all have consoles from various companies. And
We all kind of have our certain interests in
Yeah. Oh,
certain
what kind of
companies a
games
little
we
bit
play.
more on what we like to do. We're all very different.
actually, we are. I'm more platformer.
And I'm more fighting.
Stems
And
are
racing.
RPGs.
Yes. Playborn's RPG.
Yeah.
Valeros is more into his type of games like
He's
Monster
like
Hunter.
beat
and-
'em up like arcade style.
Yeah, he does that.
I like arcade games too, though. Big Mortal Kombat fan.
And,
Well, it doesn't fight too much like a arcade anymore, I don't think.
and Dark Stumbles is more into online games.
No.
We all do have our various things.
Look, the Nintendo is a good console, and you know what? You should really stop and think that if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have games here in the U.S.
We
Western
can't
market.
enjoy that because we're new
And
generation.
if you're so irritated because a game is coming out with a certain console, all that tells me right there is you want that game. You want it, and it stings you that it's on someone else's console. If you want it, go and get it. You're just gonna have to. That's what makes game. That's why I love competition. If you want, that game, you gotta buy their console, and that's what they do to lure customers in. Nintendo has done nothing wrong. And from my understanding, this game wasn't even gonna happen until Nintendo stepped in and said, "Hey, we want this game to happen."
Here's money.
Yeah, we fund it. Sega was like, "Okay."
We don't
and,
have to pay for it, so hey,
Yeah.
if I want to, go ahead.
Blame your home fanboy console, whatever you are. I mean, I do love my PlayStation 4. I've been a fan since '95, and I'm part of the community that killed my favorite console out there, Sega. Sorry, I had no idea what I was doing. I still love Sonic, and a lot of people rip on Sonic all the time. But I mean,
By
as
the way,
long as
Sonic Boom is undecided at this moment.
But look, if I play the games like Sonic Generation Colors, as long as I'm having fun, that's what matters to me.
That's what's important.
And
that you have fun.
I still have fun playing my
There
little
shouldn't-
Sonic Genesis games. So
Yeah, there shouldn't be this huge fight going on targeting
Yeah.
one system for this reason and this is for that reason. If they have what you want to play, stop listening to them. Listen to what you want.
yeah, so if you want
Make a
that
decision
game,
on your own.
if you want that exclusive game, you're gonna have to buy that console.
Nobody's
Simple as
going to
that.
come hunt you down if you buy a Wii U or a One or a PS4.
Yeah.
I mean, if we knew your street and address and knew you owned something we didn't like, we might throw a rock at the window.
Like,
We might. But we're not going to hurt you.
no, I think that's against the law. I think throwing rocks
It's
at
against the
people's
law if you get
windows
caught.
is-
If you get caught, it's against the law.
Blurface. Oh, we don't have that technology, do we?
No.
Oh, let me try it again.
Um,
Is it blurred?
no, it's not.
No, it's not. Oh crap.
Anyways, that's the point of today's speech. We were
Mexican
a
butt
little
play.
bit frustrated at what was going on over the world of the mighty internet in the land of gaming. And some of you just need to stop and think.
Look,
If you really don't want it, then leave it alone. There's no reason to go target it for a certain reason. I mean, everyone likes different things. If they don't like what you like, there's no reason to run out there foaming at the mouth.
yeah. But if the change things around, though, Nintendo definitely needs to get third party. We both agree that that's hurting them right now. They're not getting third party. Everybody, and I mean, it makes sense. If you're a lot of people are Call of Duty fans. I'm not. I'm a Battlefield 4 type of guy. I like Battlefield. Battlefield. Excuse me. but yeah. But if I had a choice between playing on my Wii U and my PS4, I'll be honest, I'll choose the PS4 for one reason: the online is simply better. As far as having the headset talking, there's more people that own that console. You know, most of my friends own them too. You know, Claiborne owns one, so I play with him every now and then. So, I mean, they need to get third-party support. As far as first-party, y'all better stop and think. Nintendo's not in any trouble, I don't think.
I'm gonna throw this out there right now. Nintendo is not going bankrupt. Nintendo is not going to make games for your iOS or mobile, or any smartphone that could be possibly made in the future.
I mean, do you have any idea how much Pokemon, Mario, and Legends of Zelda sell? And again, I asked you earlier, I'll ask you again. Does your home console, your fanboy console, have all those exclusives? I don't think so. Who really has a mascot anymore? Sega Sonic. No. But Sonic
is a good question.
Sonic's homeless. He bounces a home to home. But sorry, Sonic. But they need
He's
that.
always running here and there.
And they, but they need to get third-party support. They need to keep up their work in first party, because that's why I own a Wii U. I play Mario Kart all the time. We can't wait for Smash Bros. I can't wait for a new Legend of Zelda game. You know, I'm excited for this. You know, I got Wind Waker. You know, Nintendo Land and all that. A lot of people call Family Land is a lot of fun playing multiplayer. Like
a group of us get together and play Nintendo Land, and we just
we promised we would put videos up online on our YouTube page. We have not, have we?
No, we have not.
We'll get on to that. We promise. Yeah. But they need that, and they need to up their online server. They need to make it more online friendly, and you know, like lists of friends, servers, and all that.
That's another thing. That friends thing.
I'm not an expert in it, but you know, the way Microsoft and Sony operates online, you know, they tend to do it better. Sony does it better. I was told. Now I don't know if it's true. I was told Microsoft, you can't have party chats, like if you're using a mic, it's open. So that's what I was told. That's what I was told.
Why, they don't have party chat?
No, I don't know if that's true. Like I said, I was told that. I'm not sure.
The 360 had party chat, so I'm pretty sure the one has party chat.
I probably spoke out of ignorance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we may say little things that are a little off.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm not.
Feel free to correct us.
Yeah, leave a mean comment. The girl's a douche. You don't know what I'm talking about. I don't care. I don't
Cole,
know
us salty. You're the one salty.
I don't know you. I don't care.
Why are you so anal?
Look, lay off Nintendo. They're doing nothing wrong. They're making.
Are they
games.
hurting you? Are they hurting you in general? Yes, you. Do you not like them because they killed your dog? They didn't kill my dog.
Nintendo killed my dog. I can't wait for that game.
Nintendo killed my.
I think that pretty much wraps up. They got to get third-party support, definitely, and I would tell Nintendo that y'all got to get third-party support. You got to have it, and you know, it's gonna take. It's really gonna take. Yeah, it's gonna take them spending money, and it's gonna take a risk for the consumer, the customers out there. You're gonna have to take a risk one day and say, do I want to play this game on a Wii or a Nintendo console? You might find out it actually might just be just as good.
Like I said, there's no shame in what you're buying.
No.
You are free to do as you
like
will with your
you
own
like
money.
Sony, you like Nintendo, that's fine. I can't stand when people complain and just whine about the Nintendo when, I mean, no, they have all these first parties. That's what it means to have first parties. You're mad because your home console doesn't have first parties, or you don't have constant mascots that make, you know, 2 mainstream games a year or one. You know.
You get pretty much the same things over and over. And
yeah,
I can already hear people screaming, yeah, but there's millions of Mario games.
Yeah, Sony and Microsoft seems always for fighting for third party, and I noticed at E3 it was all about exclusive.
This is Sony,
title.
This is Microsoft. Third party is right here in the middle.
And now they're fighting control over exclusive content and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's the way to win the third-party war. Nintendo's going to have to throw some money out there and take a chance. And it's going to take the customer to take a chance to them.
Because you want more third-party games, you have to buy these games.
Yeah.
If they don't sell, they're not going to make it. If you don't buy a Wii U, you can't try them.
Yeah. But I'm not saying go for it. You know, it's your money, you do what you want.
We're not telling you to go buy. We're just telling you if you're one of those kind out there that are just discriminating against it because you feel it's not up to par with everything else out there,
just stop and think. You know, your home console, it's not all these apps, man. It was made for video games. It's made for enjoyment and fun and friends that, you know, play. And that's what video games are about. It's not entertainment first, it's video games first, and Nintendo's never broke that promise. They have always delivered the highest quality video games to us. I've never been disappointed.
Yeah.
You know? So, you got anything else to say?
I want to add one more thing. Do you feel like you can still use Sonic in Smash Brothers 4?
We said we'd have another topic about this. I will say before we go, I was watching some videos of people playing at E3. I don't know if it's true. Some of these attacks look slow, but a lot of people said they were stronger.
Stronger?
Sorry, I didn't like, if y'all have ever played Smash Bros., remember when you did the up kick with Sonic, he did like a twist and spun his feet up, going up.
Yes.
Now he just like a weird lesbian scissor thing. It's weird. It looks slow, but maybe it's
Also,
probably,
in this game,
but
that's...
Super Sonic didn't look weaker. I don't know where he said that.
It did look
He
weaker.
took out people and man, he was killing them.
Yeah, did you know their percent? It was high. Why is Mario Final still crappy? It better start sucking people in and knocking you off the stage.
Can't get into this, man. We gotta have this for a separate talk.
Yeah, fine, we'll do this another time, viewers. This is M.Kingson signing off, wondering why Mario's not top tier like he should be. They can do Ryu perfectly fine in Street Fighter games. But no, when it comes to Nintendo's mascot, let's put him middle low or low tier.
Also, Monday.
That's what I'm playing. It's currently.
What's Monday? July.
Something. I don't know.
What's today's date? Today is July.
We went to go find out the day.
Hold on.
13th. I just found out on top of my head. Thank you.
July. Monday,
you, viewer.
July 14th. Nintendo will be releasing a new character for Smash Bros. So make sure you check it out. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it.
Joke. Crom. Chorus Kids. Shadow. We need more Sonic characters. Nobody wants to play as Sonic now. Put in somebody we can use. Where's Ness?
Knuckles. Maybe.
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Where's Ness and Lucas? And leave out Ice Climbers. And Meta Knight.
I didn't like Ice Climbers or Men. Well, Midnight, a lot of people did like it. God, we're still on this conversation. We said we would. Alright. I'm your co-host, vanillaSMALLS, alongside our co-host.
M.Kingson.
This is Team DZT signing off. Stay tuned.